Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to week 5 of Business 217 Organizational Behavior. This is Mark Evans again, and I'm welcoming you back to the class. Hope that you had a good Christmas and a good New Year's, that everything went well for you, and that you had a safe, enjoyable time and an opportunity to get some rest. This week, we're going to be talking about several subjects. First of all, escalation of commitment will be one of the major topics that we talk about. Escalation of commitment can be defined as understanding that something that you've decided on is probably not the right decision, but that you just keep on going down that path without turning to the right or left or changing that. We see that a lot of times when leaders make decisions that are emotional based, that their motives may be questionable, or things, for whatever reason, they just do not want to let go of that original decision. And a lot of times it may be fear, it may be pride, it may be that they had ulterior motives for the decision that they made. It may be based on experience, which does or does not apply to the current situation. And so when it looks like it's just totally obvious that this decision is wrong and we should turn and go the other way, people keep on moving on with that same decision. And all of us can do that if we're not careful. We're all prone to pride, we're all prone to emotion, and these things can happen. In accounting terms, we hear the term sunken costs, or we hear the term throwing good money after bad, where the decision obviously is not the right one, but we just keep on sticking with it. So we'll be talking a little bit about that this week. And see where we go with that. We're going to talk about problem solving and decision making in general. How do people make decisions? How do they solve problems? As a leader, as a manager, that's a very, very important topic, because you are often called to make decisions, to solve problems, and in a lot of cases you do that with a limited amount of information. So how do you make the best decisions, or how do you solve problems in a way that that you have the most chance of success? There's a number of decision-making factors out there, or theories, if you can believe that. One's called the naturalistic decision-making model. That one's based on factual data and that kind of thing. We'll talk about that. Another one's called critical incident management theory. We'll talk a little bit about that. There were a couple of studies out there, for an example, one famous one with firefighters, and the question was asked is how do fire marshals or the leadership in the fire department, arriving at a fluid situation, say a house is on fire, how do they know what the right thing to do is? Because obviously every fire would be different, every place would be different, every situation would be different. So how does that leader know what to do when he arrives at that moment? There were also studies in the U.S. military, especially the Navy. I know that there was one study on looking at leaders or combat leaders of Aegis cruisers, looking at the decisions they made in terms of potential warfare, when they're getting all kind of information in from various computer systems and so forth. How do they know to make the right decision? So there's a lot of studies out there about decision making and making the right decisions and things like that we'll be talking about this week. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. Again, this is week 5. We do have our second test this week, so be looking for that. And you also will be getting your midterm grades by the end of the week, so be looking for those. For the most part, the classes are good. The grades are good. The biggest thing I usually run into is missing work or something like that. So we'll see how that turns out at the end of the week. Also, we have to do our second required Collaborate session. We will do that Thursday night at 8 p.m. So I'll put more data out about that after a while. So be looking for that. That is a required session. You can attend it or watch the recording, and you do get a grade for this. It's different than office hours. So hopefully you'll enjoy the class this week as we all get back to work from the holidays. I look forward to seeing you in the class.